Welcome to the RotoWire Showdown Show. I'm Adam Zdroik, talking Thursday's Premier League match between Fulham and Chelsea. And currently going on, we got a couple cup matches going on. We've had FA Cup, we've had Carabao Cup over the last week or so. This match is still in game week 19, I think it is in the Premier League, and then game week 20 starts on Friday. So it's kind of a weird schedule if you play FPL or whatever, but obviously doesn't matter for DFS. As I'm talking, we have I don't know. Manchester City are losing 2-0 against Southampton in the Carabao Cup, which is interesting. Manchester City just haven't really. I mean, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're talking Fulham Chelsea here. So Fulham Chelsea, we look at the odds and we see Chelsea as an away favorite. Chelsea at 45% chance to win. Fulham at 28%. Odds kind of surprising. If you remove the names, if you remove Chelsea and Fulham from, if you remove those names, you look at the table, you look how how these teams are playing, these odds would probably be flipped. Fulham are at home. You'd probably think, okay, they're above Chelsea in the table. They're playing better. I don't think they've dropped a point since the World Cup break, since the restart. Fulham would probably be 45% chance to win. If this, let's even just say, what if Fulham's name was Chelsea and what if Chelsea's name was Fulham? All right, well that doesn't make any sense. But either way, just remove the names. Fulham probably should be favored in this spot. We look at the lineups here. We got questions. I think the main, maybe not a question, Fulham probably won't change too much outside of we know that Mitrovic is suspended. So Mitrovic is out for Fulham. And earlier when I was looking at this, for some reason, DraftKings does not have the designation or any of the designations in here. So, but probably expect Carlos Vinicius to start. Otherwise, they've really gone with a set lineup here. When everyone's healthy, maybe they swap out Diop for Tosin or something like that. Chelsea, we honestly have no idea what to expect. They played a couple different lineups against Manchester City. Uh, sure, that's Manchester City, so maybe we go back further. Maybe it's hard to say what Chelsea are gonna do. I guess that was the last time I was talking was that Chelsea Manchester City match. I think that was 1-0, but we have injuries. Since then, we have a couple injuries. So Pulisic is out and Sterling are now out. As you can see, their injury list is massive, but a lot of those guys have been out for a certain period here. Aubameyang is healthy again. Will he play? I'm not sure. They just added Joao Felix, and I doubt he's going to start with only one training session under his belt here, but you never know. I mean, we look at the expected lineup. Is Gallagher going to start in there? Maybe. Or is it going to be like a 4-3-3 with Zakaria in the midfield? I think they just did that against Man City. So we'll see how it looks. I'd say you're looking at maybe instead of Gallagher in there, you're looking at Zakaria or maybe Felix in there. At fullback, Cucurella will still be in there. Azpilicueta going to still be starting. We'll see. Against the last Man City match, they went with 17 and 18-year-old or an 18 and 19-year-old. Lewis Hall and the other guy is failing. I'm failing to remember his name, but so those are the main questions here. It seems like Ziyech has I don't know, gained the favor of Graham Potter, and he looked like one of the better players in that first match against Man City, and he started again in the cup match against them. So you think that Ziyech is going to be starting in there and getting at least a half of the set pieces. What did the last match look like? Yeah, I guess Mount didn't play in that last Man City match, but so that's what we got here. I think the interesting thing is we have the prices are the prices don't really correlate to the odds. As we look at the prices, like I mean, obviously Mitrovic's price doesn't matter, but he is the most expensive player in the slate. I know he does have the best odds to score, but Andres Pereira is more expensive than Ziyech, than Mount, than all of the Chelsea guys. Willian is more expensive than Mount. So I mean, this DraftKings, uh, I don't know. I mean, if you really just took the odds into account, the prices shouldn't look like this. The top Chelsea guys should be, more expensive than the Fulham guys. But it seems like, I don't know. They've learned that Chelsea aren't very good, and they're not too great in terms of DFS, as I mentioned in that Chelsea Manchester City show. So I don't know if it'll be too difficult to put together a cash lineup, but we can start here. I'd say so. We're looking at let's just look at recent set pieces here between Pereira and Willian. So I mean, you can see here in that last game, Pereira took three, Willian didn't take any. Usually we have Pereira taking majority of them. Willian will be on a couple. So uh, because there's not much that separates them, you'd probably go Pereira. On the other end of that, you're looking at Ziyech, probably Ziyech over a guy like Mount. So I'd say your captain options in cash games. Let's just start with Pereira, and then we plug in Ziyech and see what we can do with that lineup. You could do the double goalkeeper route. We're getting Bern Leno at 6,400. Not Mendy. Kepa is at 7,600. Kind of expensive there. So don't really want Cucurella. Don't really want Aspilicueta. Let's see where Tete is at 7,200. Robinson 5,400. Okay. I'm just trying to build something reasonable here, and I'm not sure you can get Pereira, Ziyech, and like a Willian and a Mount in there. Maybe it's not the most difficult thing. 3,900. Jorginho. Yeah, so I mean you're in a range here of you can captain either Pereira or Ziyech. You can plug in the Fulham fullbacks, and then you can also get in either a Willian or a Mount in there. So you basically have some fullbacks, you have all set pieces, and then you're down in the 4K range, and it just goes to. I mean, Jorginho's at 3,800. I think I just built a pretty reasonable cash lineup. Zakari is down here if he starts 3,400. Obviously a sub risk. Um, yeah, I guess that's kind of it. I mean, I don't know why DraftKings is not including the injury designations here because it's making it a little more difficult here to look at the guys who are actually healthy. But I mean, this is a pretty easy lineup here. I just kind of fell into it as I was talking about it. Got Pereira captain with Ziyech, Tete, Robinson, Willian, and Jorginho. Pretty easy. I mean, you're gonna find I don't know the majority of cash lineups will have Pereira or Ziyech captain. I don't think that's gonna it's gonna be too crazy. I guess for cash games, so pretty easy. I don't know if there's anything more to say about that. I guess in terms of what I think of what's gonna happen in this match, I think. I mean, looking at the odds, I think I'd take Fulham a double chance here, whatever the odds are. I mean, that's probably minus, I don't know, one, that's probably a little higher than that, minus 150 or something like that. So I'd look at Fulham to get a point here, maybe even steal a win. Are Chelsea going to turn things around at some point? Maybe they will, but why are we expecting them to turn things around in a difficult spot at Craven Cottage under the lights against a team that's playing well? I know Mitrovic isn't there, and that changes some things up, but I mean, Fulham are playing well. When completely healthy, Fulham have been a good team this season. That's why they're in the top half of the table. I don't think it's that fluky that they're in that spot. When healthy, they're a pretty good team. You can look through a lot of results where they lost, and it's because they weren't healthy. You look. I'm just pulled up Kenny Tete's game log here. We see all these games where Tete was out, and they had to start. I don't know. They tried like Kurzawa. Who else they tried? Mbabu is kind of a lost cause as well. Uh, I mean, I don't even know if he's been appearing lately um, over there in Robinson's spot. But then what they're starting Day Cordova Reed, and they didn't really have someone I mean, Harry Wilson up there, but I mean, so you look at these results when Tete was in there. I mean, allowing 4 goals, allowing 3 goals, a 2-2 game against Bournemouth, 3-2 against Leeds. So, I mean, a lot of these games when they struggled more defensively was when they weren't completely healthy. And now, after the World Cup break, these guys are healthy. Tete's, playing as well as he has all season. You can see from his DFS log here. So, uh, just because it's Chelsea and maybe they can turn things around, maybe they're going to be awesome. I don't know why you'd bet on that. So I'd go with. I wouldn't be surprised if this is, maybe Chelsea try and just try not to lose and maybe it's a scoreless draw, something like that. But I mean, I'd play for. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd play for like a 1-0 Fulham win, 2-0 Fulham win, that kind of thing. Maybe Chelsea get a random goal from Havertz or whoever first. Maybe it turns into more of a 1-1, 2-2 kind of result. But I definitely think like Fulham are playing better and they're not that bad of a team. It just depends on what you think they're going to look like without Mitrovic. We can look at some prior games here when Vinicius started. It's hard to compare. One of their games was at West Ham. They lost 3-1. Another game that was at Manchester City 2-1, and then home against Manchester United 2-1. So it's not, you can't really compare these things 1-1. But I mean, let's look at this Manchester United result. Kind of similar odds there. We can see Fulham 23% chance to win, Manchester United 51% chance. Look at this match, both these teams, 14 shots, fairly even, 16 shots on target between them. Fulham racked up crosses because Manchester United got a 14th minute goal. So I guess that kind of decided how these stats played out. But it's just I was trying to figure out what the difference here with Mitrovic and Vinicius is, and clearly Mitrovic is better, but um, hasn't been a full that many prior matchups here for Vinicius outside of like cup matches. So how are we gonna win a tournament? Let's find out. Okay, so we know Pereira and Ziyech are going to be pretty popular for captain, so I'm not going to be looking at those guys. I'm going to be looking for random goals. If Aubameyang starts, captain him, go for it. I am not I am not using Aubameyang, even though he's super cheap. I just cannot do it. I think Vinicius is. I wonder how obvious Vinicius is going to be because captain of Vinicius is basically the same price as Aubameyang down here, 6K. We look at the goal odds. I guess Aubameyang's a little high. Well, no, all these guys are plus 185. So Aubameyang and Vinicius are all the same. They're the same as Havertz right there. So, I mean, you can do Vinicius. I just think he might be more popular than we'd think because he is taking the spot of Mitrovic. And outside of Pereira and Ziyech, I guess who are you looking to captain? Like Willian, Mount is up here, Havertz is up here. So I mean, all those guys will get looks. Gallagher's up here. Oh, I forgot. Manor Solomon's actually healthy as well, so that's something to keep an eye on. So Solomon, he was hurt the first half of the season. He would be a guy to come on for Vinicius. So if maybe Vinicius is only going 60 minutes, Solomon comes on for the final 30. So something to, if you're worried about that kind of a thing, again, if you're captaining him, you're just playing for the goal, so it doesn't really matter. But just as a heads up there. So, I mean, really, any of these guys can be looked at. I think Vinicius may be the third most popular captain because he's so cheap and he's going to allow you to pretty much do whatever else you want with your lineup. So, if you want to do a Vinicius build, I mean, it does seem a little too obvious. I think De Cordova Reed will be as we look at these top 8 attacking players here. Let's just say they're both running a 4-2-3-1. So all the attacking players, I think De Cordova Reed's going to be the least popular captain. People are going to look at his game log. Hasn't really done anything. Sub risk as well. Solomon's one of the guys that's coming in for him. So, I mean, But that also means, like, I mean, we saw the Crystal Palace match. He has a goal, 18 points. We've seen before. He can score. He can assist. He doesn't have a huge floor, and that's why people aren't going to look at him. But I mean, he's just a guy who could score in this match. He could have the most points in this match. What if this is scoreless going in the second half? Maybe De Cordova Reed gets the only goal, that kind of thing. I mean, he could easily win tournaments, but I think he's going to be the least popular forward, least popular attacking player in this match. So he kind of makes sense from a lot of possibilities. And Anthony Robinson, I like Robinson or Tete as captain options as well. Really, you can go a lot of places here. Like, I don't hate Paulinho or Harrison Reed. Maybe Harrison Reed, but Jorginho always in play for PK, Kovacic. I'll say probably don't want to. I guess maybe Captain Cucurella, not on the Aspilicueta captain train there. So I mean, really, you can go a lot of places here for tournaments. I just think the most popular captains will be Ziyech, Vinicius, Pereira, and then maybe like a Havertz and Mount kind of a thing. So I would probably avoid those unless you're in like single entry. For single entry, check out the article written by Jack Burkhart on RotoWire. Here, let me pull it up here. We can find it here. We got this article Jack Burkhart wrote. Single entry tournament, just a little bit of why you play single entries, and then just some examples of recent lineups. So check that out. That's up at RotoWire. It's a free article as well, so you're welcome for that. But let's build out some goalkeeper lineups. Let's get 1-0 win. I think 1-0 win either side is in play. You know, wouldn't be shocked if either side won 1-0. Even though, sure, I said at the beginning Fulham are playing well, but it doesn't mean Chelsea don't have a ton of talent. And the absence of Mitrovic does change some things. So, all right, let's build a lineup. I'll start with Kepa here. 11.4 captain seems like a lot here. Why is he so expensive? All right. Anyways, Kepa captain. What else do we want to do with this lineup? Heck if I know. Let's plug in Ziyech. We get the goal. We get the goal and assist. So Ziyech and Havertz. We do them. We fade Mount. Mount. Yeah, I think Mount will be more popular than Havertz. Just how it goes in general. So we got Kepa, we got Ziyech, we got Havertz. What can we do here? Can we plug in both Pereira and Willian for the set pieces? No, we cannot. And we cannot. Kepa is too expensive to do that. So maybe you just do, instead of doing both Ziyech and Havertz, you just do one of those guys. So whatever. I'll just say Ziyech for the heck of it. Set piece goal, something like that. So we're left with 10,000 for two spots. What do we want? I mean, even with this, you could do scoreless draw and hope that Fulham get a bunch of shots on target kind of a thing. I mean, what Paulinho is down here. He's always open for shots on target. I mean, you could get Robinson in this spot. Robinson, Kovacic is in here. Unless you want a defender, any of the Chelsea defenders. So, I mean, if you think this could be a scoreless draw build. Kepa, Ziyech, Robinson, Pereira, Willian Kovacic. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. But if you actually want the 1-0 win, I mean, maybe you still plug in Kovacic, or maybe you get a center back goal. You get Koulibaly in here. You get Thiago Silva in there, something like that. Where's Thiago at? He is 5,000. Okay, that's a bit expensive. Clean sheet percentages 27% for Chelsea, 19% for Fulham. All right, so I plugged in Koulibaly instead, and we got 5,800 left. Yeah, I mean Robinson, Paulinho. Even if you want to double up, if you want to go heavy on this Chelsea clean sheet, Aspilicueta, Thiago Silva, they are in there. technically, Azpilicueta has gone 90s in back-to-back matches, the game against Nottingham Forest and against Manchester City. So that's a positive. Just, I don't know, I don't like playing him, but there you go. I mean, if you want the clean sheet with Kappa, there you go. You can build that one out. Okay, let's do a Leno captain. I think this one will be a little easier. 9,600. So we want the set pieces for Chelsea in here. We definitely want those. I mean, yeah, I guess we just plug in Vinicius here because you get the Vinicius goal. And even then, I mean, he's super cheap. So Vinicius, we'll want Pereira. I mean, might as well just plug Willian in here. Uh, I mean, Tete is right here. So pretty easy. Leno, Ziyech, Vinicius, Pereira, Willian, Tete. Uh, I mean, this is a little too easy. This might be popular. I mean, there's $600 left here, but what am I missing here? I think this lineup is too obvious. So to get different here, if however many people are watching this show and use this lineup, if you want to get different, so we got Tete in here at 72. Yeah, you just mix up that and go Robinson, Anthony Robinson here. I mean, he's similarly likely to maybe get on the score sheet as well, but also get a clean sheet. So Robinson is much cheaper, and you're gonna have 2,400 left. So maybe you don't even use Vinicius in this route. Maybe you play De Cordova Reed instead of Vinicius. Maybe you play a Paulinha instead, or whoever, Harrison Reed. I mean, any of these guys. So you can mix it up with the Leno captain. I just think that Vinicius is going to be popular because he's so cheap. So that's the one thing I'd worry about with. I mean, you want to be alone. You don't want similar lineups. You don't want duplicate lineups as anyone else. And I think Vinicius will be fairly popular for anyone captaining Leno or even anyone playing for a 2-2 result kind of thing, playing for goals. He's just so cheap. And I mean, you compare uh, Vinicius is taking the spot of Mitrovic. Mitrovic, 10K in a flex spot. Vinicius is 4K. Where is he? I lost him. Vinicius is 30. No, he is 4K. So it's 6,000 difference for a guy in the same position. He's going to be popular. I'd say 50%. I mean, unless people are playing for some clean sheets, because what else is down in this 4K range? I mean, I guess it's Jorginho in this spot. You can play for the PK with Jorginho, that kind of a thing, and I guess Koulibaly in the center backs, Aubameyang's down here, but I mean, I guess if Aubameyang starts, maybe that. Okay, let's take a look at it like that. If Vinicius and Aubameyang both start, then I would be more likely to play Vinicius because Aubameyang's going to take away some attention from Vinicius because people will look at the odds. They'll see that Chelsea are favored. And I mean, it's not like either one of these guys has a great game log. Yeah, let's look at their averages. 1.4 per game for Vinicius, 2.8 for Aubameyang. So if both those guys start, I'm more likely to play Vinicius. If only Vinicius starts and Aubameyang doesn't start, Vinicius is going to be very popular because he's just going to allow you to do so many other things. He'll be used in captain. He'll be used with whoever else really because, as I said, we just look at the goal odds and he's up there. So that's one thing I would look out for. If he's the, I probably would not use him in a Leno captain unless you're looking at like a single entry kind of a thing. I just think I think it's a 10K to first. In the main GPP, I would not. If Vinicius is starting and Aubameyang's not, I think Vinicius is going to be really popular. And I think he's just as likely to hit 2 points as he is to hit 14 points or whatever. So, okay. I think that's all I got. Been a busy day here, so I kind of didn't do a ton of research into this. But so this is for Thursday's match, and then we're going to be back tomorrow, Thursday. We got Kits and Wagers. Our betting show will be live Thursday morning, and then I'll be on for another showdown slate. Aston Villa play Leeds United on Friday. I'll be back for that. And then Friday at our usual time, I think we have a 4 game slate on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we got a 4 game slate on Saturday, so I expect it to be Ryan Belangi and Jordan Cooper on there. So that's all I got. But hey, thanks for watching, and hopefully you can win something. We got a couple King of the Pitch tickets last week from our RotoWire staff, so maybe we can get some more coming up and second half of the season. But thanks for watching. RotoWire.com/soccer trial, free 2-day trial, and once you're signed up, RotoWire.com/chat. To get under Discord. Discord, these guys are going heavy on the cup matches, even though there's been no Premier League. We've had no content for Premier League. The guys have been busy discussing FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Liga MX. MLS is starting at the end of February, so people will be talking about that as well. So if you play any of those, if you play all of those, jump into our Discord and there will be some discussion about that. But thanks for watching, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow. And good luck on this one. I'm definitely going Burn Leno captain, and let's just ride this Fulham wave here and hope that Chelsea don't figure things out. If João Felix starts, all bets are off.